Hey, you guys want to see a magic trick? Now look who's strange. Wrong movie, dumbass.
The Macho Mandalorian is here! Oh, yeah!
What's up, guys? Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And Doctor Strange is the 14th, believe it or not, the 14th Marvel film to come out by Marvel Studios. Believe it or not. And stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange, Amy Adams, Mads Mikkelsen, and the guy from 30 Years a Slave. I cannot pronounce his name. Great fucking actor. And Tilda Swinton, or Swanson, as the Ancient One, which is a controversial one. And I'll get to that one. Directed by the guy who did the Sinister movies and other horror movies, and they ended up not being very good, but with this movie, Disney's decided to take a shot and let him have the reins when it comes to Doctor Strange. Now, going into this film, I was like everybody else, didn't know anything about Doctor Stephen Strange, and going into it, I knew, and for some reason, just like how they did with Ant-Man, I would become a fan in some way, and I already got ready with the Stephen Strange t-shirt, as well as a poster, and so many other things, okay? I got a lot of Doctor Strange things, Funko Pops, and I feel like I'll become a fan of him, and guess what? I am a fan of Dr. Stephen Strange now. Now, this movie is pretty much an origin story when it goes into Stephen Strange and how he got his mystical, magical powers. He starts off as this arrogant snob, almost Tony Stark-like in almost every way, an arrogant surgeon who thinks he's on top of the world and thinks he can do everything. But then he gets into an accident, he loses his feeling in his hands, and he can't do surgery anymore. So he hears about something in India, or I think it was Nepal, where there is a magical person, who, the Ancient One, who can grant abilities to fix fix his hands, fix his problems. And eventually he goes on this magical journey, and I'll just leave it at that. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch was made to be Stephen Strange, started off this arrogant snob, and then eventually down to earth, and eventually a hero that you can grow to like. He's kind of this arrogant snob towards the end, but you still grow to like him. It feels kind of weird to me because I always see Benedict Cumberbatch with his English accent. He's a very powerful presence and doesn't need to have another accent. But going into this movie, he actually has this American accent and it's very convincing. But it's just so odd seeing that from Benedict Cumberbatch. Thought it was just kind of weird to me. And then you have Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. And she was a very controversial pick, a white person playing as a Asian character, and honestly, you could pick anybody else to pick the Ancient One, and I feel like she wasn't that memorable as a character. I didn't really think she was that great in any perspective, but she was funny in her own right, and this movie is quite funny. It doesn't take itself seriously. It's a Marvel movie, so it's a serious movie combined with a funny tone, and it works so well once again. And as an independent movie title, as a movie that you don't know anything about this superhero, it works so successfully well. I mean, look at the numbers, 325 million in the first weekend. And then you have Carl Morto, played by, I'm not even going to pronounce this guy's name, but he's a fantastic actor in anything he does. He played in 30 Years a Slave. Fantastic freaking movie. I highly, highly recommend that movie. Instantly 5 out of 5, without a doubt. Please go watch that movie. But he's also very good in this movie, but he's not really memorable in this movie at all to me. I'm going to see it a second time, and by the time I upload this, I'll already have seen it. But I didn't think he was that memorable, too. I didn't think any of the side characters, except for Benedict Wong's character and Doctor Strange, were really that memorable, which is sad. And speaking of Benedict Wong plays as Wong. But he was really good, actually. I actually liked him the most out of all the side characters, and he plays as the librarian to all of these these magical tomes that they have in their training academy. He's funny. He is really funny. He takes everything seriously, and he doesn't get the references. He doesn't get the jokes that Strange throws at him, and that's just the funny part. That's just really the funny part. And he's a great actor too. Benedict Wong, fantastic. If you've seen Marco Polo, you know I hate that show, but he is instantly the best part of the whole show because of his performance as Genghis Khan. He is fantastic as Genghis Khan in the Marco Polo TV show. And he continues that trend with this movie. And Mads Mikkelsen as the villain, he wasn't a very intimidating villain by any means. But he was a solid villain. I'll give him that. He was solid. He was actually pretty funny too. I actually liked him a lot too. He is the primary villain, but there's also another villain who I won't spoil. And they did a good job with his scene as well. It was quite funny. But I did like that scene quite a bit. And I can't wait to see what that villain, that big time villain, will do in future Doctor Strange films and in future Marvel films. Cannot wait to see that. So overall, the characters, not too memorable. And the story overall is not too memorable. Doctor Strange goes through these trends where he's on top of the world. He goes through all of these magical tomes like it's nothing. And he learns this in like a couple weeks. And while others are struggling for years and years and years. He has a knack for this like instantly. I know he's a smart guy, but that's just not a believable thing to see. Of course, many people are going to mention this, and I got to mention this too. The visionary direction, the CGI, the way this movie blows your minds and goes into deception, the CGI style, and you'll see at the end credits how many freaking CGI creators there are. There's like hundreds, almost hundreds of them, just doing this, and I believe it. Like the way this film bends and twists Doctor Strange around, you feel it in your own head, and it's pretty cool. I gotta admit, it's like a mind bend. It's a cool mind bend. How I like to describe it, it's like a stoner's wet dream. If you're into that stuff. It's trippy, it's wild, it's just fun to watch, man. It's really fun to watch. There were some points where I just felt kind of dizzy because it just kind of warps and twists a little bit too much. But overall, I liked where it was going. So my final rating for Doctor Strange is... I liked Ant-Man a little bit more as an independent movie title when it came out last year. I thought that was great. But this movie, it's good. It's a really good movie, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was that great. I don't think it was just too heart-pounding and on the edge of your seat at any point. Also, I have to give Funko crap for this because they said that this astral projection, this gold astral projection, would be in the new movie. You're wrong, Funko. It was blue. So your concept was actually right. They actually made it blue. And they're like, oh, the movie made it gold now. No, it was actually blue. So what are you doing, Funko? So I gotta give you crap for that. You're dead wrong, Funko. You should have went back to the blue form because that actually looked a lot better, in my opinion. And the next movie I'll be watching is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I am looking forward to that movie, definitely. The Star Wars robot! Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to please like and comment down below. Tell me what you think of Doctor Strange. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Django Fett, if you haven't already. And I'll see you, my fellow Mandalorian brothers and sisters, next time. Oh, yeah!